So the temperature is, at this precise moment in time, 38.8 Celsius, which is 101.8 Fahrenheit. Now today might be a quick visit because I will come back potting up plants, and I'll tell you why that's important when we get outside. So these are the plants I have to deal with. I've got a Crocosmia that needs to be planted. That can actually wait because it's in its own pot. One thing that does need to be seen to straight away are these plants that I've bought, garden ready plants. And to be honest, I'm a bit disappointed because I bought one of these things where it's £10 for 15 plants, say. And it was a gardener's surprise. Well, this is a surprise because I have 15 plants, but they're all of the same thing. And I thought I was getting 15 plants of a selection of winter flowers. So this one is Primrose, and the one next door is Campanella. Very nice plants in their own right, but not what I expected. What I did expect is what's in the big box down here. Now there are lots of plants in here, and I will show you them as I go. But the first one are some scented pansies. So I've got some multi-purpose compost, and I've just put in some vermiculite just to open the soil up to make it free draining. You don't have to do this, it's just something I like to do, and I think it makes the compost go a bit further. So I'm going to use these pots I bought from Wilko's the other week, which, a bit of good news, it appears that Wilko's might have been saved, so we will still have the shops. And here are the plug plants. Now this is the problem, to get them out without damaging the bottom, and I haven't got a pen on me to let me just squeeze the bottom, see if that'll work. There you go. So just get the compost, firm it down, pop the plant in, and there we have it. Don't want a pot that's too big. This is the smallest pot size that I have, but they will fill that up and then I'll put them outdoors. Right, I'm going to get on and do the rest of these, so I'll catch up with you in a bit. Well, it's a few days later and the temperature has dropped. Not a lot, down to about 26 degrees. So it's a bit more pleasanter than last time. Now I'm going to continue to do my plants. I've got loads of them. These are the blue sea holly ones. But I've run out of vermiculite and I don't have any perlite. And I like to have that just to open the soil up, make it go a bit further. So I've been down to the allotment stores, which we're very lucky on this site, it's open every day. But they've sold out of both vermiculite and perlite. So I'm going to try something that I've never tried before, which is oak sawdust. So I'm just going to put some of it in. Oh, and yes, we were talking outside the hut this morning, and quite a few of us mentioned about how it seems to be an increase of aeroplane activity in the last few weeks. Right, well that's interesting. Oh, if you are interested, this is 40p for a bag. But I've just tipped it out, and there's a nut. Somebody's lost their nut. It's quite understandable in these hard times. Right, so let's have a look at this. Also, a few days ago, I said that the Wilko's store brand has been saved. Well, there's been a development in the last 24 hours, and they've announced that it is actually closing. So my local store is closing, I think, on September the 26th. So I might go back and see if I can get some more of these pots. Because even though I have a lot of them, I didn't anticipate me buying all these plug plants.
So I'm running out of them fairly quickly. I might go and buy some more while I've got the chance. So I do these exactly the same way as I've shown you for all the other things that I've done. So it'll be interesting to see how this sawdust works. So let me get the plug plants. A nice display of them. But I will admit it, I have gone overboard with my buying of these plug plants. I will not be seduced like this again, he said. And then wait a few weeks and I'll be doing the same thing. So, get a pot, hold the leaves up, pop it in, and if you're new to this, you put the soil in and move your hand around the pot, because sometimes people will turn the pot around and they end up twisting the plant, and then they're surprised when it falls off in their hands. So overfill it and get the fingers in down the side like so, and there you have it. So I've only got another 14 of these to do. I'll admit it, I am certainly missing having a greenhouse. It was nice to get in there, especially for doing a bit of filming, and you didn't have so much noise. And when I left the last time, I put these in a bath of water, so they're a bit over damp, because I thought the sun might have tried to evaporate the soil, so I put evaporate the water, so I put far too much water in there. But as long as I am dealing with them now, it'll be fine. Now, one of the reasons why I've bought all these plants, which I haven't told you about yet, is in front of the shed here, I am thinking about getting rid of the rhubarb, because it's been here for quite a few years, long before I came here, and it's a bit tough. It's not as juicy as it should be, so I'm going to get rid of that. And then in its place, I'm thinking of producing, well, I'm not thinking, I am going to do it. That's why I've got all these plants. I'm going to put a massive flower bed starting in front of the shed. So I'll be removing the bench. The bench will actually go up at the top end here with a backdrop of Stipa gigantica grass. So the bed will sort of come around in a half circle, incorporating the section in front of the shed here, and there somewhere I will be putting the pond. And I've got some pond plants turning up today, in fact, so hopefully by the time I go home they will be there. The grass that I've bought, I can't remember the name of it now, but I was reminded about it the other day, about this grass. And you find, as you get a bit older, you go through a period where you will buy things or buy plants that remind you of people and places in the past. And this grass that is coming, and I'll tell you the story of it when it actually turns up, but it reminds me of a place and people, memories. And I find the older you get, the more you buy plants, and you sort of create a memory garden. You can walk around and you can say that there's a story attached to that plant. Or the other week I went to go and visit a place called the Museum of the Home, which is on my other channel, and I'll put a link to that channel below. The actual video is not finished yet, so you can't watch that just yet. But when I left, and you'll see this in the video, there is a load of Stipa grass outside. So I just put my hand through the top of it and got some seed. And I thought I'll put that into the plot. And then every time I see it, I'll go, that's the day that I went to the Museum of the Home. And therefore, saving a memory for the future. I'll show you all the other stuff I've got in a moment. Let me do a few more of these. I'm actually going away in a few days. So by the time you get to see this, I will be in Harrogate, which is north east of the United Kingdom for those outside. And I've been invited to go and have a look at the Harrogate show, especially the National Vegetable Society section. So I haven't decided yet if I'm going to make a video for this channel. So if you would like to see a little report on the Harrogate show, let me know, because I will be arriving as you are watching this video. So maybe I'll do a video for Sunday night. It's a little treat, something a bit extra. My trip to the Harrogate show. This sawdust reminds me of our woodwork classroom in school. It's a beautiful smell. Don't know how good it will be for the plants though. But this is the thing about gardening. Give something a go, and who knows, I might have found something that will change the world. I doubt it though. Right, just put a little bit more in. It's quite a therapeutic thing to do this, just to sit with your hands mixing up your compost. Right, the next thing I'm going to pot up are these, and this is called Primrose Alaska Best Red. Now, I'm already starting to run out of pots, and because these are quite a big plug plant, nearly got attacked by a wasp then, I'm going to put them in these bigger pots. So I will have to get down to Wilko's pretty smartish in order to get some new pots. So we'll just put a pot in a pot like I've done before. Fingers around, firm it down, lift it up, pop the plant in, just give it a bit more compost around the side. I know this might not seem an enthralling video, but that's what happens sometimes. Sometimes it's a very busy week in the garden of just getting your head down and getting on with the task at hand. I don't know what the time is, but it's very noisy around here. So the next thing I'm going to pot on are these verbenas. Again, who needs 15 of them? But I think I'm not going to fall for this trick again, however cheap they are. I'm going to put them at the back, I think, in amongst the grass. That's the plan. But for the time being, like everything else, it will sit in a pot. So, what was I going to tell you over the ding of those kids screaming? Ah, that's what I was going to say. So you might have noticed the name of the channel has changed. Bloom and Harvest. And as far as videos, nothing's going to change. In fact, you're going to get more videos. And you might see a few of them and think, what's all this about? But never fear, the vlog will still be here. And the vlogs will go out on a Thursday. So if you see things during the week that throw you a bit, and think, oh, I don't know if I'm in for this one, because there'll be videos about how to sow seeds and things. And just ignore them. And just think, I'll ignore this, because on Thursday I know there is a vlog of life on the allotment coming. So the next 6 months is a bit of a trial for me. I'm trying different styles of videos and see what works and what doesn't work. But I can guarantee you, the vlogs will always be around, and they'll always be on a Thursday. You've got to come back to find out what I'm going to do with all these plants. At least the thing about these plants is they were cheap, and my design, I think I'm probably going to, because this will fill this new flower bed that I'm thinking of doing. So maybe it will be swathes of flowers. So there might only be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 or 7 types of flowers, but there'll be swathes of them leading you to the pond. Who knows? It might be, it might all turn out for the best in the end. Who knows? Well, I finally finished potting up those plants. I must say, it got a bit boring towards the end there. It reminded me of, you know, when you get your runner beans and you look forward to them and you think, I'll freeze a few of these. But after 20 minutes you go, if I see another runner bean again, I'm going to scream. So let me have give you a little tour of the plants. As we're in this corner, look at the sweet peas. They're really starting to come into bloom now. This one is an interesting colour. Look at that. 26 degrees today. What a difference. Right, potting up the plants is done, and I'm very pleased that that is done. What am I going to do next week now? I could sow a few seeds. I could tidy the shed, but what I'm going to have to do next week, I think, is clear for flower border. And shall we really plan ahead? Plant flower border. Difficult to do this when you've got a camera in your hand. There you go. Something to look forward to for next week. So like I said, I will be at the Harrogate show as you're watching this video. So I might pop a video up on Sunday of my little trip to the Harrogate show. This year it's been held in Newby Hall. First time I've ever been there. But it'll be interesting to catch up with the growers of the National Vegetable Society. They can certainly grow a carrot, those people. So I will catch up with you on Sunday. So from me until then, bye for now.